so much to talk about right here in the world of fandoms. There's so much happening in the world of film. The hype for Avengers Endgame is through the freaking roof. Captain Marvel hit theaters and crushed it at the box office. It just hit 1 billion, joined the 1 billion club. And Shazam hit theaters. Haven't seen it yet, but Shazam hit theaters. But even with all this news and all this trailers and all this other stuff going on, what am I here to talk about today? What I'd like to see in a Power Rangers sequel. I love you, Ranger Nation. I love my life. Hey, what's up guys? SuperSamuraiM here. And today, I just want to talk about Power Rangers. Because I just can't get it off my mind, you know? But yeah. 2 years ago, the Power Rangers 2017 movie hit theaters, and it did alright at the box office, and it did alright with critics, but we still deserved more. You would be lying if you said this movie was perfect. So, I'm here to talk about why. What could they do to make the Power Rangers sequel, confirmed by Hasbro, just the perfect Power Rangers sequel? So, that's why I'm going to be talking here today. This is my Power Rangers sequels wish list, if you will. And yes, I use sequels, plural, because I want this to be an entire expanded universe and maybe even go off to Masked Rider and Beetleborgs and other stuff like that. Make it happen, Hasbro. Make it happen, make it happen, make it happen. Anyway, here is my wish list for a Power Rangers sequel. Tone down the product placement. Krispy Kreme being a major plot point in this 2017 movie, I gotta admit, was pretty hilarious, but still, tone it down a little bit, alright? This isn't, we're not Transformers, okay? I mean, unless Michael Bay is directing it, but, yeah. Actually, it would make a lot of sense if Michael Bay directed a movie about Power Rangers, because, you know. That's what puts Michael Bay to sleep at night. Weird kinks aside, product placement, tone it down. Soundtrack and score. The soundtrack was alright. I mean, I gotta say, I like Kanye West's Power, but it was kind of an over-obvious choice, especially for this movie. And I just wanted a more defined score, especially coming from a great composer like Brian Tyler. I expected more from him. I mean, don't get me wrong, the soundtrack was alright, but I still feel like it could have stuck with me more. I mean, if the movie didn't hold up as well, at least it could have a kickin' score that I could just feel so empowered by. I mean, this is Brian Tyler we're talking about. He made the score for Iron Man 3. I still have that stuck in my head. Who's playing it right now? Just having a more defined score in this movie would just make it that much better. Power weapons and expanded mythology. Yeah. So, we only kind of saw the power sword kind of once, and, Jason just pulled it out of nowhere, and it was just alright, and he just put it away in the end of the movie, and then we never saw the other Rangers' power weapons, and, yeah. I also don't know how that could fit the form, but I just want to see the Power Blaster on screen, alright? I mean, I just want to see the Power Rangers just pull out their power weapons and make the Power Blaster. I just want to see that on the big screen. I think that would look so amazing on the big screen. Just look at this and tell me how you would feel if this was on the big screen.
Let's bring them together!
Imagine that, but blockbuster movie quality. And that is exactly what I think this franchise of cinematic universe could be, you know? I really want this to do well. Also, expanded mythology. They introduced a Zeo crystal, so I hope they introduce, different planets like Eltar and Edenoi and Aquitar. Rangers are protecting other planets, alien rangers. And you brought the Zeo crystal, so that means you're gonna have a lot more movies in the future. Like, a lot. So if you're planning on sequels, you better live up to it. I mean, you introduced the Zeo crystal. That clearly means we're getting a Zeo movie. Lord Zed. Okay, I want them to introduce more villains. They had Goldar and Rita and the Putties in the first one, but this is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers we're talking about. The villain list is endless. You still gotta introduce Finster, Squat, and Babu. You also gotta introduce Scorpina. Throw Rito in there. I mean, come on. And of course, you can't have new villains without Lord Zed, the freaking nightmare fuel of all a 90s kid. More action with an identity. Movies nowadays have action with an identity for, like, a creative style with how their action is filmed. Like, for example, in the MCU. It kind of varies from movie to movie, but overall, it's like big giant CGI battles with tons of epic choreography thrown in there just to mix things up. Kingsman Secret Service, long tracking shots that are filled with well choreographed action. You got The Matrix, slow-mo effects. All these action sequences have an identity, so I hope that the action we see in a Power Rangers sequel has its own identity that sticks with us. Hopefully, action that is more in spirit of the show, because the show kind of has its own identity of action. No matter which way you slice it, whether you're watching the Super Sentai version or the American version, they all have their own identity. Well choreographed fights with witty quips thrown around. That's just what Power Rangers is. I mean, you get stunt choreographers that are even in the toku business. Koichi Sakamoto, a well-known name in toku. He is known for having his own creative style and the way he films his action scenes. And he's worked on Power Rangers before. So I'm just saying, if you're gonna have action, it's gotta have its own unique identity so that it separates it from the MCU, the DCEU, and any other action flicks out there. And finally, you tease it at the end of your movie. You think we ain't gonna expect the Green Ranger? Yeah, Tommy Oliver is essential in the world of Power Rangers, so you can't not have him in the movie. He's basically confirmed. Plus, if you're gonna cast someone as Tommy Oliver, make it a good casting so it captures the spirit of JDF. I mean, there's no replacing JDF, but you gotta have someone that will stick with us, And that's about it for my Power Rangers sequel wish list. And that's way too many thoughts to have on one single movie that came out in 2017, when there's plenty of other things I could be talking about, like Joker and Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel, Shazam. But anyway, I just want to apologize for coming up so short on the videos lately. There's just been a lot of stuff going on. In fact, I have a few vlogs that are coming out soon that will explain what I've been doing with my life ever since my last video. Because I know 1 month is an insanely long time to go without a video, without thinking I'm dead. So yeah, there's going to be more content in the future, so with that said, as always, please give it a like, subscribe for more content, sure support by ringing the bell, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Comment down below if you want me to do reviews of Beast Morphers. Activate Beast Power. Activate Beast Power. Power Rangers Beast Morphin.